Have you ever wondered what US Navy SEALs do aboard aircraft carriers when they're not in the air or directing jets to land? Do they disembark the vessel to relax on the neighborhood beaches? Or do they work continuously because, well, they have to be on guard at all times? In this video, we will provide you with the exact answers you're looking for. But it's important to realize that because of the fast-paced operating environment on an aircraft carrier, US Navy SEALs typically have little leisure time when stationed there. When they do have some downtime, they could perform a variety of things to unwind. According to a former Navy SEAL, a typical workday with an aircraft on board lasts from 6 in the morning until midnight. He added that he would sleep in his rack if he finished early and could get a midnight snack, take a shower, and be in his rack with at least 5 hours to spare. If not, he will dress and spend the night in his workspace. He spent a lot of time at his work locations throughout the day because he had to be available at all times. He was fortunate to have certain chiefs and officers that appreciated real gleaming brass and wax flooring, so he could quickly clean and wax the flooring in his workspace at least 3 times per day and shine brass all day between lunch and recovery. Now, if he were lucky, he would wait in line for a warm supper in the dining hall during his leisure time. His meals were typically delivered to him in styrofoam containers and would eat whenever he could. Another person's experience was somewhat different. He claimed that during his time in the Navy and while he was underway, he only had maybe 2 to 3 hours of leisure time each day. He used it to shower, shave, and other things. He read a lot and occasionally sat in the lounge of the berthing area to watch a movie on CCTV. One of the Navy SEALs was gracious enough to give us a more thorough explanation of the process. Here are some regular activities that he said they engaged in, and we produced it in his words. In the electrical shop, there is Mortal Kombat. You lined up and played until you were defeated. We had people lined up down the hallway because he was such a great hit at the time. A film night. 3 channels that were transmitted across the ship were managed by the IT staff. They began playing consecutive films on each channel at 4:30 p.m. and they made the schedule available in the plan of the day. You may make requests if you build a solid relationship with them. A single conference room was designated as the official theater. They set up rows of chairs and a popcorn maker, kept the lights off, and set the TV to a particular channel. Every berthing had nightly card tournaments, which were unavoidable. Only 4 individuals could typically fit around the table at once, but people would meet all around to observe. The games frequently became quite tense. The library on board. The library allowed you to check out books, and you were always welcome to hang around there. The genres that predominated the choices were historical nonfiction, horror, and westerns. Church. They typically had both a Protestant and a Catholic service. On a zipline, the chaplains would be transported to the ship. Hunting, fishing, and swimming. The ruling class occasionally allowed people to fire skeet off the fantail or attach a ladder and go swimming for a while. Although it's less prevalent, folks can go occasionally fishing. Obviously, the class of the ship will place restrictions on these kinds of operations. Exercising. On board, there's a fitness center with some weightlifting equipment, a treadmill, and free weights. Socializing. The ship is filled with tiny social clusters. There are numerous neighborhoods where individuals can sleep or work on even the smaller ships. Some of these neighborhoods may be avoided for weeks or even months at a time, thus it can be enjoyable to visit one of them. I periodically went to the signal shack to hang out with a friend who was a signalman. These were but a few of the experiences that various soldiers had at various aircraft carriers and in various times. Here, though, is a broad outline of how certain SEALs might pass their downtime. To stay in shape and maintain their preparation, they can decide to hit the gym or partake in other physical pursuits. Others might use the time to catch up on sleep or read books to learn more. Moreover, there are other general activities that they engage in during their free time. To name a few, here are some of them. Navy SEALs undergo ongoing training to keep their abilities sharp and be ready for any eventuality. They can engage in physical training, simulate tactical situations, or sharpen their aim at the ship's gun range in their free time. Relaxation. Following lengthy stretches of demanding operations, SEALs may choose to spend their downtime to simply unwind. This might entail relaxing by sleeping, meditating, or listening to music. Education. The majority of Navy SEALs have advanced degrees, and they may use their spare time to further their education or pick up new skills. They might read books, attend online courses, or take part in military training sessions. Volunteering. Some SEALs use their downtime to give back to the neighborhood by working as a volunteer on board the ship or taking part in community outreach initiatives in the ports where the ship is stationed. Hobbies. SEALs have their own interests and pastimes, just like everybody else. They might engage in hobbies like painting, music making, martial arts training, or even magic in their spare time. In summary, U.S. Navy SEALs are highly skilled and specialized soldiers that enjoy a variety of extracurricular activities while stationed on an aircraft carrier. They are intended to strengthen their bonds with one another, keep them physically and mentally fit, and assist them get ready for any upcoming missions. Finally, SEALs may maintain their equipment during their free time. These soldiers are in charge of a variety of cutting-edge tools, weaponry, and other equipment that is necessary for their tasks. In order to keep their equipment in good shape and ready for use, they can use their downtime to clean, maintain, and improve it. In conclusion, U.S. Navy SEALs can enjoy a variety of leisure activities while stationed on an aircraft carrier. They make the most of their downtime to unwind, socialize with their fellow sailors, and engage in activities that help them maintain their physical and mental fitness, despite the fact that their time is frequently limited owing to the high operational pace of the ship. Do you have any relatives that are Navy SEALs? How about asking them how they like to spend their leisure time and letting us know in the comments?